Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a recent drawing. This is number 2 because the first one I completed a good few months ago, and the importance of this is because the drawing that I did was of a houseplant. Obviously these are 2 different parts of the year, so naturally one will be shredding its leaves and be a lot more thinner, whereas the other one's going to be a bit more bushier because it's summertime rather than winter. So, like I said, this is of a houseplant. The actual name is in the title. It's a very simple thing, a houseplant. It's so, I don't want to say easy to draw what it looks like. I find with simple objects and items, they look better and are more interesting when you draw them in negative space. So negative space is drawing around the object, but not the actual object itself. So let's take this section here as an example. This is actually the stalk and a bit of leaf, new grown leaf growing out the side, but how I got that shape was drawing the space in between the branches that you can see. As you do it, I do start with the center largest negative space bit section, which is I thought was this part. Later on I figure out that actually this one was big, more width ways than length. This one is slightly bigger in length ways. Started on that section, and as I studied and observed the houseplant, I realised there's a lot of like little tiny intertwined bits, whereas a lot of new growth leaves growing through towards the bottom of the actual houseplant itself. And also the way that I positioned it, I did use a lamp, and it was late at night, so I could use that for my advantage on lighting. Lighting does really help with this because you can see also on the shadow behind the plant where the light will go through, and it's a really good way to just be able to find a way to start as well if you are confused on where to start. As I started to go outwards on the drawing, it became a lot easier and very simplified compared to the first version because it was so bushy. There was only like little bits and pieces in an area. You had to be more picky on which way you wanted to draw it and which way the drawing you wanted to face. Whereas this one was a lot more straightforward because there are lots of negative space bits. But saying that, you need to be careful with how much negative space you are exposing onto the paper, because if it's just a massive black blob, it's not going to look very good composition wise. You do have to fiddle around with the way you are going to be drawing from it. That's simply just putting it down, moving it about to try and get as much space in between. It is rather difficult to go from drawing an object to drawing a negative space. You have to remember that you're not drawing the thing, you're drawing the shapes in between. It's actually a really nice technique to use if you're using still life, say an object or model, and it's also a very good way to warm up as well because it gets your mind thinking in a different way than just drawing the object. Most people won't look at this and think, oh, that's a drawing of a houseplant. They kind of instead study it a bit more and ask questions about it rather than going, oh, that's a houseplant, and move on. This drawing is much more engaging than a traditional form of drawing. Not to say a traditional drawing is not as interesting, it's just you have to figure this one out, whereas the information is there already for you to see compared to this, which is where you have to figure it out. So I'm just going to pick this up because it actually is quite elongated. Okay, this is the very top and we are going down the drawing now. As you can tell, there is a good balance of negative space as well as the form, but also you can tell when you get to the point where when you have this part of the drawing, this is where the negative space between the plant meets the background. So instead of just doing a block, I just tend to smudge it a bit to show that it's going off rather than in a solid form. Same for over here and down there. Just makes it a bit more interesting than just, well, another block. The variety of marks are always something that make a drawing more interesting, I believe, in my terms anyway. But yeah, it's a very simple drawing, but a very great way to warm up and even just to experiment like if you're having a bit of a stalemate with trying to draw or just do any form of art, it's just nice to sit down and just concentrate on something that you don't have to worry about what it looks like. Because this is actually me drawing only halfway through. I decided I really like this composition because you don't have to draw the whole thing. That's the most important thing about this. You don't have to draw the whole object. You can get to a point you go, okay, I like this composition, I think I'm just going to leave it, because at the end of the day only you are going to know what you're actually meant to be drawing and how much you're meant to draw it from. That's just a really quick talk about one of my recent drawings. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did talking about it. Please don't forget to comment down in the comment section below, give this video a like, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye now.